Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I am Aaron Loomis, and with me, as always, is Jiunn Liu. How you doing, Jiunn?
Good.
So today we are talking about the Foundry Time Flies Robusto. This is a true Robusto at 5" by 50 ring gauge. Comes out of the Tabacalera Fernandez factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano 2000. Binder is from Nicaragua, and the filler is Nicaraguan Corojo and Criollo. Blended by Michael Giannini and AJ Fernandez. Price point is $7.50. And the cigar was released in July of 2016. So, Jiunn, what was your pre-light experience with this cigar?
Pre-light experience was really good. Starting with the actual look and feel of the cigar, um, I thought it was a like a rustic, hardy Colorado Maduro wrapper shade. Things well pressed seems noticeable, but it wasn't so rigid that you could kind of put your finger through the ridges on it. So it was good. It was fine. Bunch and roll feels tight. Um, I got very little give to the whole cigar, and at the same rate, I didn't get any soft spots. So hopefully, the tightness of all the tobaccos pack wasn't going to be any withdrawal issue. Parejo head finish off with a thick double cap. Moving on to the nosing experience. Nosing the wrapper, I got some strong barnyard, subtle white pepper, and some wet earth. Nosing the foot, I got some faint sweet cream, sharp cedar, and dry red chilies. Cold draw. I got a dry cold cardboard, dry nuts, and some subtle light cream. So overall, it was a very good presented cigar.
Yeah, medium brown wrapper, a couple of prominent veins that were visible. The seams are easily visible, but they're smooth. There appear to be two well-applied caps. The band is a large holographic skull with a few quotes on the back of the band, and not on the inside of the band, but just on the back side of the front of the band. Aroma from the wrapper was like a faint hay, and the foot is a bit more pungent with the mix of leather and hay. And the pre-light draw was a creamy leather with a pretty decent spiciness that I was getting on my lips. So in regards to flavor, what was your experience like with the cigar?
Um, First thirst profile is namely that's driven by wood and spice, specifically, very distinctive notes and everything that I taste in a cigar. A sharp cedar, like a tongue coating dry black pepper spice, like a dry earthy minerality, and a dry red chili pepper heat. Um, so a lot of dryness and wood and spice. Inch in, fake bread, a little bit of the best way I could describe it is ash. Like when it's not a favorable experience. Like when you leave your cigar ashes in your cigar ashtray overnight and you come back to it the next day.
Mhm.
That's what we're talking about. So, so that started coming into the palate. Through the retro, some intense dry red chili spice, sharp cedar, faint bread. Finish was pretty short. I just got some residual dry red chili spice, ash, and dry wood. Strength was somewhere in between medium and medium full within the first third, and then medium, solid medium. Moving on to the second third. Second third and last third is basically mimicking each other, so I'll kind of group them together. So starting in the second third, the primary difference was the spice level, specifically that dry red chili spice, which was still a core flavor, but it really tapered down, probably like 50% or so. So in addition to that, dry wood, dry earth, minerality, medium body cream, black pepper. Same retro, still giving me that intense dry red chili, sharp cedar, and faint bread, and yielding still the same finish of residual dry red chili spice, ash bitterness, and dry wood. In terms of strength, it wasn't playing around between like medium, full within the first third anymore. Starting from the second third, the strength was a solid medium full, and the body was still a medium. So overall, very dominant and wood and spice kind of that cigar for me.
hmm Yeah, for me, initial draws brought a very full strength mix of red pepper spice and wood. After a few draws, that red pepper transformed to black pepper, but it was just as intense as the red pepper at the start. Quarter inch in, pepper settles down some, and the wood is more present in the profile. And then at half an inch in, that pepper continues to mellow, and the wood kind of takes the lead there. Retro Hill is primarily wood, but it has some of that red pepper spice that I got right at the light up. An inch in, some cream joins the wood and really pushes the pepper to just a slight finish. And that's kind of how that third finishes out. Strength started full, but by the middle of the third, strength had fallen way back down to medium. So it was a very interesting transition there. Second third begins, creamy woodiness, no real pepper to speak of. Half an inch in, a little bit of pepper came back to the profile, which decreases the cream, but that general woodiness was still up front. Retro Hill was like a slightly dry wood, and then an inch in, the pepper disappears again, and the wood becomes slightly drying, and that's kind of how the second third finishes. And strength was just slightly above medium for me. Final third, a slight cream comes back to mix with the wood, which is more now defined as oak. And then at a quarter inch in, that cream goes away and the slightly drying oak remains. Half an inch in, a little bit of bitterness joins in with the slightly drying oak. And then at an inch in, the bitterness is just on the finish with the oak being the primary note. And that's how the cigar finishes out for me, and the strength is at medium full. So performance-wise, what was your experience like for burn and draw?
I had a really good constructed cigar. Very good burn. Total smoking time of hour and 30 minutes, which is pretty in line with my expectations for Robusto. Burn life for the most part, sharp, pretty sharp. Ashes held on tight. I got some 1 inch increment ashes that were solid chunks. The draw was perfect. So, kind of know that it's made out of AJ's factory. I typically get pretty good results with the construction, and this one proved no difference.
Yeah. Burn was perfect for me. Razor sharp the entire way. Ash held on about inch and a quarter. So that was really nice. In regards to the draw, it was pretty deliberate for me. I think I was still able to take full draws, but it was very noticeable to me that it was tight. So I kind of just gave it a good rating for the ranking. So overall, what were your thoughts on the cigar?
This was an average cigar for me. I would say it kind of tasted like an AJ cigar. And what do I mean by that? I mean a cigar that is distinctive and full in earth and spice and wood flavors. He does that part really well. Especially, I feel like when he uses that Ecuador Habano 2000 wrapper, I get a lot of this kind of a delivery of flavors. So, nothing wowing, nothing crappy, but just a steady AJ classic profile.
Yeah. I thought that the skull band was appropriate with how the cigar started because the pepper wanted to just melt my face off. That quickly subsided. First third had a good number of transitions. Getting in the second third, things became pretty linear, kind of with wood later becoming more defined as oak. But the strength level is like a medium plus. I think it's more appropriate for those that like that higher strength level. I think this would be a good fit for like a last cigar in a multiple cigar smoking day. You're not going to have the best palate to be able to discern a bunch of flavors. But that's not necessarily what this cigar shines in. It's just kind of presenting some basic notes to it. But I can see revisiting this cigar from time to time. Like I said, if I'm smoking a bunch of cigars and I want to end the night with something that's got some strength to it, and something's gonna be full enough for me to pick out those flavors, I could see going back to this. So scoring wise, I gave this a 5.93. You gave it a 5.87, so pretty close. How do you think your score matched up with your experience?
Matched well. So I give it average in terms of first, second, last, third, and the overall. And then I give it very good scores for the construction. So that to me yields somewhere in that low 6.5, high 5 range.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing. I mean, I think it matches up well. Fairly average in flavors, very good construction, so that kind of helps it out a little bit. But it's a slightly above average cigar. Something that I might go back to from time to time. But that's pretty much it. Like I think you said, kind of steady Eddie, kind of AJ Fernandez type profile. So kind of know what you're going to expect there. Really good construction. Flavors, going to be in kind of in that same profile. Any other final thoughts on the cigar?
Well, I typically don't talk about sharing, not sharing, freaking quarter sick fed, pairing cigars.
Right.
But I realize actually, especially when Asia has these like bolder, peppery, woody kind of a cigar, bourbon pairs really well with his cigars, especially wheated bourbons. And then you get that sweetness from the wheat mash bills, wheat forward rather. So I think I'm gonna. Well, since we have a ton of these from General, I think I'm gonna try that next.
Yeah.
No.
I'd be interested to see what you think about that then.
No.
All right. Well, if you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us, but also go to the website, developingpalates.com, to read the full written review. And follow us on all the social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google+. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next video.